Good morning. Andres, good
Good
morning to you.
morning.
Good
Whew.
early morning. Good early
Yeah,
morning for you. I couldn't get you to wake up this early when I was your boss.
it's how excited I am about this one. I mean, you can probably see in my face, I'm a little bit still woozy, but
Yeah.
should be a good one.
Yeah, I agree. So just so everybody knows, it is 7 a.m. in Dallas where I live. And how early is it where you live in the middle of the desert?
It's 6 a.m., so
Yet we're here
pretty early.
and we're
Yes,
gonna be trying things out. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. Got my coffee, got my water, got my laptop. All you need
Yeah,
to do a
that
early
is
morning
true.
live stream.
That is true. I try to be prepared and get coffee, but we got that much left. So we'll see. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I'm just already caffeinated. I don't know. Well, I'm ready to get started. But before we do, I'm just going to share with everyone what you and I were just talking about. I was bitten or stung yesterday, and I don't know. I don't know what it was. I was walking in my pasture. I'm building a fence, and you're coming to Dallas tomorrow to help me build that fence. So thank you for that,
Yes.
putting you to work. Anyway, I was walking in my pasture, not touching anything. I was like literally kicking a roll of goat fencing, like a big metal thing. I was kicking it down my pasture, and I felt a sting on my hand. Felt like a wasp, but I didn't see anything. Look at my hand, and there was what looked like a wasp sting on the back of my hand, right on the vein on my hand. I've never been stung on my hand. I've been stung a lot recently because I've been in the yard a lot recently. I've been stung on my face and my neck and my back, never on my hand. So it just started swelling and swelling and swelling yesterday. It started at what looked normal. And eventually we get to the point where I woke up this morning and my hand looks like that. I was at the hospital yesterday, not for myself, for my daughter. And they drew this line around my hand at the end of the day to see where the swelling was. And I woke up and we've just blown way past that. And it started going down my arm as well. So I'm swollen
Yeah.
from like here down to my arm. We'll see. We'll see where
Can
it
you
goes.
type? Can you type?
I can type. I can type.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, we're good for right now.
that's
But
good.
yeah, you
Yeah,
should get that checked. I don't, does your
I
hand feel heavy? It looks like it's heavier.
no. I took 2 Benadryl pills and 2 Tylenol this morning, and that helps a
Okay.
little bit. Doesn't help visually, but it does help the way that it feels. So fun stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
so let's get started with what we're here to do today, and that's really give AWS App Studio a spin. So a couple weeks ago, I think it was at the AWS Summit in New York, Amazon announced a new generative AI powered service called App Studio, which claims to build enterprise grade application using natural language in minutes. And that's not actually me paraphrasing. I was just reading the tagline on the website I had up.
Yep.
Uh, we'll look at that in a second. So what we're here today, Andres, you and I worked together on building enterprise software for years.
Yep.
I think between the two of us, we probably have 20 years of experience in building enterprise software. So what we're going to do is we're going to try it, and then we're going to see, is that enterprise grade? And so,
Yes.
well, I think we probably don't have to define what enterprise grade is up front. Well, as we stumble upon things, we'll kind of define that definition or
Yep.
define
I
that
like that.
term, and
I
we'll
like
go
that.
through. Like the main things I'm looking for are not necessarily the quality of the application or like how accurate it was, but I'm looking for things like maintainability, things like testing, things like, can I reliably have something that I'm not constantly making breaking changes to out
Yeah.
the door?
And that's the tricky part, right? When you have something that generates code, generates UI. I don't know what it ends up generating or if it's just assets that in the cloud, right? We don't know. We haven't used it
Yeah.
yet. But
Yes.
is it are you able to build on top of it? Are you able to, and James just said observability. Can you observe it so you can troubleshoot any issues or find issues before they happen and stuff like that? So uh, excited to see what it does. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Me too. And this is a little bit of a departure from what we normally do when it comes to the live streams. This is the first live stream you and I have done together in a couple of months.
Yep.
But usually, what we do, what you don't see before we go in and do these live streams, is there's a decent amount of work that goes in behind the scenes prior to the actual live stream, just to make sure that everything is up and running, that we know what we're doing. You don't have to watch us scrambling. Obviously, you make code errors all the time, so we don't do that. But we do go through the process and figure it out and make sure that everything works. But today we're doing the honest first impressions of App Studio.
Yeah.
The only thing that we've done prior to this is enable it in our AWS accounts. Now the service is in beta or preview, so it is, you do have to turn it on. And let's talk
Okay.
about that just for a super fast second, because you and I both have done it. I did it in my account, you did it in the account that we share. For me, I already had all the IAM roles set up in my AWS account. So I went in, filled out a little web form, and hit go, but it complained at me saying that this is only available in US West 2. I use US East 1 like the rest of the world does.
Living on the edge.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. If it goes down, we all go down. Um, so it did say like this is in US West 2 only. Do you want to copy the IAM stuff over to US West 1? I hit yes, that's fine. And then it took about 10 to 15 minutes of the little button just spinning, assuring me that it was doing something. It did assure me that it was actually doing something. It didn't forget about me uh, while it was deploying. I think it deployed a CloudFormation stack, and we can look at what's in there a
Mhm.
little bit as well. So did you have a similar experience?
Yeah, for me, I had the same warning saying, hey, we're going to need to copy this stuff. I did not have a group set up for my identity center yet. So I had to go back to my account where I handle my AWS org, then created that group, added you and me, so we could use App Studio today. And then I selected that from the dropdown and then let me create it. For me, it did take like 30 minutes to set up.
30 minutes.
It's
Dang.
my cloud's slower than yours. I don't know why.
Nice. Okay, but that's it.
Yeah,
That's a one-time setup, and it's
yeah,
not really something you can do in infrastructure as code. But so at least right now, while it's in preview, just go in, set the IAM roll up, and hit go. So
yep.
let's share. Let's do. I'm gonna share the whole window. Okay. So here is the description of App Studio. We probably have seen it already. I imagine the people that are watching this are interested in how the service works, so they probably heard about it before. So we'll just
Yep.
read the overview, and then we'll we'll jump in. So App Studio build enterprise-grade apps using natural language in minutes. We're going to verify if that's true. And then down here, let's read that overview. App Studio is a generative AI-powered service that uses natural language to build enterprise-grade applications, empowering a new set of builders to create applications in minutes. With App Studio, technical professionals without deep software development skills, so we should probably assess that, Andres, such
Yeah,
as IT project.
I'll be the non-technical
You'll be
professional
the guy without
today.
the
Yeah,
skills.
yeah.
Okay. This is, I read this before and I was actually excited to read this out loud on the stream. So, without deep software development skills such as IT project managers, data engineers, and enterprise architects. Right there, I mean, shots fired. I was an enterprise architect for a long time. You're an enterprise architect right now. I hope that
Yep.
enterprise architects have technical skills if they're the ones designing the systems.
Yeah,
That's
it's
savage.
wow. That
I
hurts.
think that whole sentence I think is savage.
Yeah.
Just we're just lumping all of these people into the bucket of I don't have strong development skills.
Oh, whew,
Anyway, so
okay.
we
I
can
gotta go
quickly
study
develop
more.
business applications. Yeah, right. I mean, I only have a cloud practitioner
Same.
certification under my name. Okay, so anyway, so we're going to focus really, this is saying it's emphasizing building business applications for your organization's needs. So that is what we're going to be doing today, is figuring out, do you need technical skills to be able to do this? So let's go into it. App Studio. I'm glad we have solidarity with Ken, cloud practitioner holder for
Yeah.
life. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
this renewal cycle was nice because I was able to do the Cloud Quest game to renew the cloud practitioner
Oh, really? It's a game now.
last year. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's Twilio does that. They have a game that
Oh, really? To get
teaches
certified?
developer education. Yeah, it's not certified, but it's just like the developer education that they have is a game.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so dashboard of App Studio. Manage users and roles at the top. Manage app connectors. Okay, so right off the bat, I don't know what these terms are,
Yeah,
but I can tell you if I don't have strong software development skills, like if that's not something that I've honed my craft in, I'm never going to know what an app connector is. That is
yeah.
not a good intuitive name.
So
I'm sure we can figure it out. It's probably permissions, but
one thing I'm mapping from when we set it up to here, right? There was an optional step to set up a builder role or something like that. So I
Mhm.
think there are two roles, one for the admin, where it's where you're at right now, the manage, have admin hub, the roles, connectors, all applications. And then the builder, I think, would be scoped down to the builder hub, and my applications, right?
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Cool. Okay. It's assumptions, but we're not going to go set up the builder role today.
Right. No,
So
we'll just give it a.
connector, I'm assuming is AWS to AWS service or external. Let's click to see.
Looks like it's internal.
Service.
Oh, no, it's both. It's
Oh,
both.
external. Open API
Okay,
connector. Ooh.
that's nice.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's also, while we're going through this, let's keep a tally of assumptions that AWS is making about the person using App Studio, because I'm going to keep coming back to this insulting sentence. Technical professionals without deep software development skills. And that's what I really want to assess. Like, what is that? What's the cutoff here? How much software development skills do I need? How much? Uh, James threw me off my game, made me laugh.
Yeah.
As a developer.
Right?
uh, like, what is the cutoff here? How much do you need in order to
Yeah.
do this? How much skills do you need, but also how much knowledge do you need of AWS as well? So going back in here to the dashboard, that's assumptive. Configure Aurora connector. Like, how do I know if I have no skills or no knowledge of AWS what Aurora even is? I could come in here and not know that's a service at all and say, oh, we're gonna mess with the Northern Lights. That makes no sense to me. Uh,
Remember, back in the day before we knew Aurora database existed, our team name was Aurora.
it
And
was. Yes, it
what
was.
would a project manager think? It's what is this, right? Is this for the
Yeah,
team?
they might assume, yeah, if they knew that was the team name, they might think that it's a connector for the team. And I actually don't know what 3P is. I don't know what 3P services are, but
Yeah.
let's start. Let's just try.
Yeah.
Let's stop judging a book by its cover and start reading it. So what we're gonna make. I think you've done a live stream, I think with Jeremy before, on the app that we're gonna make. So I'll hand it to you to describe the app that we're gonna be trying to build.
Yeah. So it's the basically GPS tracker app, which is to try out several API endpoints, right? So do a post, get, basic CRUDL, right? So list or get do a query and all that stuff, and also tracking. Wait, my backup alarm is okay. We're good.
Your
Uh,
sleep alarm.
yeah, this is for a regular day to wake up to work
Got
out
it.
right now.
Okay.
Uh, so it's to have an API with create, read, update, delete, and list, which can store data, track GPS coordinates, right, latitude and longitude, and then there's we can open the requirements in a bit, but it's essentially being able to broadcast using WebSockets, topics, or whatever, to update essentially a UI to be tracking moving a point, as well as having async processes that for each 10 points, you're going to calculate the distance and the temperature
Average
of the
velocity.
location or velocity,
Temperature.
something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did say
There was
that. That
something
was
with the
to
temperature.
interact with the. Yes, that was like for the route, the temperature, just to make sure how easy it was to integrate with an external system
Yep.
for, this is for that app. Now, this is an app that we keep coming back to when we're doing framework assessments because we want to be able to objectively compare different application frameworks to see how easy is it compared to these other ones to build this thing.
Yep.
So let's start. I'm actually interested in the UX of this page in general because it is prioritizing connectors over applications.
Yeah. I don't know if they see an admin managing connectors and a builder doing apps, because
That's true.
you see the build has the my applications. Let's look at the
Yep.
builder hub. What does that look like?
Create a
There you
new
see the
app,
prominence. Yeah.
video. Yeah, that's true. So we're not going to watch a video. That's not what we do. We just
Yeah,
go in
that
and mess
yeah.
around. What
It's
does Miss
probably
Frizzle
what I
say
would
in Magic
do by
School Bus?
myself, but it's for a video for a live stream. Yeah, let's just try it out. Let's figure it out.
Okay, here we go. Create app. GPS data.
Or from
Generate an app with AI.
scratch. Ooh, I obviously want to try the
No.
top one.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Choose existing data sources you want to include in your app. You can also connect later.
It already created a DynamoDB connector. Interesting. What tables
Once
does it have?
again, I'm kind of this is if you have no development skills, already lost. This
Yeah,
is there's making an assumption here that you have some to understand what a data source is. So I don't know if it'll let me proceed.
I
No,
don't
it
think.
doesn't let me proceed without selecting a table. So let's just turn that off. Skip. Okay, so it's setting up a session.
Ooh. I wonder how long this is going to take.
I don't know.
30
I,
minutes.
I guess I guess while we wait, let me find some good music for us to write code to.
Ah,
Let's play
true.
feeding the ducks. See how that sounds.
Like Ken Collins' comment, if you can pop it up, but I guess they should say coding skill versus development side.
Yeah, uh, semantics is a big deal, especially when you're targeting non-developers.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, let me turn the music down. I do like this song. It's called "Feeding the Ducks."
Yeah, I've used this one. I just like the name.
Okay. Describe your app in the text box or select sample prompts. Let's look at these other ones first. There's IT inventory management. And so this is telling you how you would actually create your prompt. I want to build an inventory management app for IT equipment. I manage laptops, blah, blah, blah. The app should take requests from employees, track them in a dashboard. Okay, like this, nice. Okay. Create
and you can customize that prompt, I'm assuming, with the customize button to add your flavor to it.
Yep. Wow, I'm really happy that there's a bunch of options here.
Is there a GPS tracking system?
No, dang it.
Oh, that would have made it easy.
I know. Okay, I like that though. Okay, so we're limited to 4,000 characters.
How long is the README we have for the?
I don't know.
I'm gonna try and open it.
Did I put that? Is that in my
I think
GitHub?
it's on Ready. I think it's Ready Set Cloud.
Did I call it bench? No, it's not benchmark.
GPS. There you go. It's on your personal.
Okay.
I mean,
let's do it.
Yeah.
we're giving it requirements. I've found pretty decent success in prompt engineering when you give it a list of requirements like that.
Okay, we're at 1,000. This should be marked down. I don't know.
Create.
You can't resize the text box, right?
No.
Ugh.
This is probably fine. I'll mark the bullet points like this. Honestly, I don't know if that matters or not, but
It matters for me.
I don't like that they give you a 4,000 prompt or a 4,000 character prompt limit, but don't allow you to resize the window.
The window, yeah. Or full screen.
Do it. Okay, so how long do you think this is going to take for it to do something?
2 minutes? Oh,
Not even close. Okay. Okay. Oh man.
data source. Look at that. Okay, let's read it.
Okay. As a user, I want to create a new session for tracking GPS data so I can start recording my journey. This guy user stories. How neat. I could have used this when I was writing user stories for our dev team, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was still doing something. Okay. Maybe. Oh no. I must have played with
Yeah,
it.
it's giving you an overview, so that's why it didn't take long. This is generating the use cases, the user flow, making sure it's right. Okay, so I like how it feels like a true process in a project, right? So let's make sure that we're tackling the correct use cases or user stories, and after that, let's generate the app. Okay.
Yeah. So like back to like the arc that we're following. This part doesn't need development skills. I just need a list of requirements. And so it's saying back to me, these are the requirements I understood you to say, which definitely is like every project manager I've ever worked with knows how to do that. Okay. I want to see real-time updates on the map as they're received. I want to see weather information about the starting location so I can plan. I want to see the total distance and average velocity of my journey. Then it has a user flow, which is super nice. Sends a request, start a new session. Okay, afterwards data point is received, an asynchronous process. Okay, cool. So it is getting the things from the requirements that we passed in.
Yep.
Okay, and then data sources. So it's planned out the schema of the data, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then app overview. Let's see what's in the overview. Okay, it's a mobile or web-based application that allows user to track and manage GPS-based activity sessions, key features, session management, data tracking, session visualization. Let's see, users can view detailed information about a specific session, including session level metrics and underlying GPS data points. Okay, and then dashboard, so you can have KPIs. Okay, usage. So you create a session, track it, view detail. Okay, I like this. I'm like 10 out of 10 happy with what it came up with.
It's very detailed and lets you know. I know what to expect when. Well, no, I don't know what to expect. What it's going to generate, but as far as what the application is going to do after it's generated, this is nice.
Yep. Now Ken actually brings something up that's noteworthy here before we go and build it. He says this feels familiar to Claude's artifacts tab, which I haven't used yet. I've read articles about that and how that's kind of like a game changer from Anthropic. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good thing that those are similars. Okay, let's do it. How long do you think generating an app is going to take?
Your app is ready.
Wow.
That's. I wonder if it was creating it while we were reading.
Yeah, you guys talk for so long. I'm just gonna build it while I wait.
Yeah. Okay, it says it's being set up.
I thought it was ready.
2 to 3 minutes. Look, I was close.
2 to 3 minutes. Does that mean it's spinning up an instance for me behind the scenes?
Oh man, let me put some billing costs stuff locks.
Okay. So okay, I don't know what this means previewing as. Is this this is a disabled combo box up here. Okay, so let's be judgy on this web form. This isn't what I wanted. I wanted it to do things for me. Like an ID, I don't like that because I can get collisions based on the ID.
Yeah,
it should allow users to do that.
Generated.
Creation timestamp, that also should be generated for me. It probably doesn't have validation for things in the future. But let's look.
Yep.
Say it's active.
Weather data, total instant. Yeah, so it's all manual.
Okay, this at least has, this is a number field. It's not letting me type anything into it. It's interesting that those are required. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Great. Okay.
Session.
Table can't be. Oh, man. Okay.
This is tricky.
I'm feeling underwhelmed right now. Let's do this. How do I just opened up the Chrome debugger and it's in its own window and I'm only sharing this. How do I integrate the debugger back into the window? Do you remember?
There's at the top left, no, right, do the ellipsis and there's the dock.
Oh, okay, cool.
There you go.
So I wanted to see the network log. Like, let's see what it's pulling. So these are 404s.
Because we don't have a data source.
Okay, so this has, it has its own request URL.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah.
It's probably better if you dock it in the bottom. Well, if you want to see the actual app. Maybe. 2 minutes just trying to.
Yeah, yes, right. I'm going to have to agree with what James just said. The user flow sounded so good, and this looks so bad.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's see what it's doing. Okay. I know this is hurting your restful heart, Andres, these API calls that it's making.
But it has slash queries.
Queries.
It's basically what we did once we're like, I can't find a restful way to classify this endpoint. We just did slash commands. I think it's a good pattern. I think this is not meant to be restful. I don't think. But it does.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of is acting like it is, but it might also not be. Also, here's another rub. It is doing a query, but it's doing a post.
Yeah.
For that call as well.
Is it sending a payload? What?
Why? Oh, I guess
sessions by average velocity. Yeah, I mean, that could have been a query parameter very easily. So judgy, but an architect would never look at that. So it's fine.
Yeah, they don't have any technical skill at all.
That's the preview response.
Yep. Okay, and so it's also
returns the status code in the body. Oh man.
This is how I feel right now. Okay.
Okay.
It is doing polling though. Like this is, I think it's trying to refresh the page. Now it's not.
Do the headers?
It's using polling.
Just see what exactly it's trying to hit.
It's still posting. It's weird. Is there? Let's see if it's using. Okay, so it has a cookie. What do you think would happen if we try to hit this in Postman without using any of the auth? Like, do you think it's protected?
I mean, I hope so. That's a post. Hopefully it's at least a 401, 403 I'm expecting.
302. Let's do one of these instead. Instead of whatever that was, that poll for
And
updates.
Zoom, well, we can't see very well.
Thank you for calling me out. Okay, so this is the one that it's using. Which one did I copy? This is getting the session queries. Okay.
Okay.
It's still a 302. I don't really understand. 302
It has-
found. I mean, I guess it's not giving me data, so it's probably okay.
Set the body as JSON, do empty JSON. The top. There. Yeah. I'm wondering if it's doing anything based on the origin and all that stuff.
Well, it's giving us a redirect, so let's pull that. Hold on. There is a setting that we can set to auto follow the redirects.
It does seem like it's sending you to an ID to OAuth to authenticate.
Okay, there we go. So now it did redirect us, but now that we're following that redirect, it is giving us give us a 400 for unauthorized. Great.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is not meant for us to be looking at it, I guess, but yeah.
For what we're trying to do, or we're trying to actually gauge, is this an enterprise grade application? Yes, we're absolutely supposed to be looking at that.
That's true, because I mean, you're going to maintain that, right? And that's my next thing. Okay, you do have a debug panel. Can you expand that? But then I want to say, okay, I want to edit this. What do you do, right? Okay, all your requests. So
that's nice. The data card component. The component has been navigated to an application canvas. Okay.
Where is it?
Is it this?
I guess so.
Let's try another one. Okay. So another thing that I don't really like about this is that it's forced me into. Has it forced me into AWS? Like take apart or like put aside the fact that it's built entirely in AWS. Like, how are my users going to use this app? Are we?
Well,
can they just navigate here?
Before you sent the prompt, it was asking you for data sources, right?
Yep.
Which could have been external, so it could have used that as your data source, not completely tying you to AWS. As far as the UI and any logic, again, we don't have any access to that yet of how that's built.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So really, then let's try to move on from here. So we have create a new session, then we have a dashboard. Hovering over preview says preview does not display live data or connections with external resources published to view real-time data. So I was looking for where to do that. Where do you publish it? And I'm not seeing that either. I assume that's
pop in the console. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we cold starting, you think? What on earth?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I like that it's dark theme. I mean, it has that going for it.
It's probably just following your system. It's probably following your system. But
that is
maybe
true.
It's purely.
If I have no development skills, then I would hate dark theme.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not enthralled by what was created, because it seems to have missed the mark.
Can you open the the hamburger is part of the app. Oh, there's two hamburgers.
Yeah, there's this one up here, which is for me as the builder. And then there's this one down here, which is opening and closing the side nav.
Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing else that we can do in here. So let's talk about the things that we like and dislike, as I guess, as far as what was generated. It is nice that it generated these web forms.
But it's a basic, hey, so what?
I'm being generous with that, like.
Yeah. I mean, it's a starter, right? If you're creating like a simple web form, create something in a list, but it doesn't have the listing page. Well, it's in the dashboard.
I'm unsure if this is even a starter, to be honest with you. It's like, if I don't know how I'm going to maintain or edit this. So let's figure out how we can do that. Now that we've looked at this.
Yeah, I think we should go back to the, I don't know, Builders Hub, maybe. Only builders can build and admins can only prompt. And admins are the architects prompting, and then the builders are, it doesn't.
Yeah. And this never loaded. It never loaded. The debugger. But it is in preview, so I will cut them slack on that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've gone through the entire UI, which is these two pages. One is the web form that leaves a lot to be desired. And then this dashboard. So let's see what we can do. Oh, look at this. Okay.
That's the page where it opened the component. We didn't know it opened.
Yeah.
This. No.
Yep. No. Yeah. That's
and
odd.
I'm pointing to the screen. Let me do it like this.
You want me to move my mouse for you?
Yeah. There it is.
Okay. I'm much more happy with this view. Much more happy with this. And here's the publish button. Here, everything that I was missing was in this view. We were just looking at the dang preview. Okay. Okay. Whew. All right. So how do we? Let's do this. First, let's look at these. So there's clearly placeholders that map to variables, and you can, if we click on this, we can set it to this, right? And give it the format. It looks like we have event triggers as well. This is feeling a lot like OutSystems to me.
Yeah.
Like just
actually used
it
in
a different way.
I used
Feels
it
like
yesterday.
A low code.
So excited. Yeah.
Why?
Just showing it to someone.
Oh, okay. But look, you have your components that you can drag onto the screen. Let's do this. Let's go into this one. And let's...
Did you see there was a PDF viewer? We always struggle with that.
Is there?
I wonder how good
there's licensing, yeah. S3 upload, that's nice.
iframe.
Okay. What happens is, okay. So many things that I want to do now that we have the low-code builder. Let's do this.
Now you're putting the engineer hat on.
Yes. You're right. I don't know if people... This is one of those gray areas for me. Is this too much if you've never built a website, if you're not a software engineer? Like, looking at all these things over here on the side, there are a lot of options. And I don't know if somebody would feel overwhelmed with the amount of things that are over here.
I think it's becoming more common with things like Wix and Webflow and stuff like that, where this is truly something that people are using more. Not saying a lot yet, but non-technical people seeing this type of stuff is a little bit more common nowadays.
Okay. Good. Tell that to my father-in-law, though. Let's default to value. How do you think you can do that? This value must match the format in order to be processed correctly. What do
Like
you think
their
we do?
dates, ISO 8601 would freak someone out, definitely. Ooh, what is this?
It's the automations. Step
Like that
create.
invoke API, invoke AWS. Oh, there's
Okay.
some optimize. Is this
JavaScript.
okay. This does feel like they're doing a OutSystems runbook here. That it just feels so. I don't think. Yeah, just do IntelliSense.
I like that it has IntelliSense.
Yeah. And then how do you output that?
I don't know.
Oh wait,
I'm returning it, but I don't. I wanted. Hold on. Again.
Dang it! We always fall back to the code.
Dang it. Okay.
Delete. Abort.
Let's satisfy Ken on this one. How do we do this? All I want to do is default that creation timestamp.
So there's Ask AI
right now. Where?
In the bottom left.
I want to default the creation timestamp. Oh my gosh. Here we go. To right now. Whenever the page loads. See what it does.
Does it iterate? I don't think it's going to iterate the app.
I think it would.
Yeah?
That's my assumption. Now we're both obviously making assumptions here. Let's see.
Wow. And zoom in a little bit.
Can you read that okay? Yeah.
No. That's better.
To set the creation timestamp parameter to the current date and time whenever the page loads, you can use the date object in JavaScript. Here's an example of how you can achieve this. In the page parameters section, how do I get there?
Pages.
I guess we'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
Create a new parameter called creation timestamp with the data set to date. In the page load event, add the following code to set the creation timestamp parameter. Okay, page parameters section, create a new param. Let's do that with type set to date.
I hope the Ask AI stays there. Let's see.
This went away. I don't know why my page labels went away. Okay, page parameters. I guess it would help if it showed me where that was. This really feels a lot like OutSystems, by the way. Like everything that we're doing has that feel. At least the last time I used it.
Yeah, I mean it has the tabs, right? You got logic, pages, auto, and like the processes is the automations part. Calendar settings. Let's see, where are the
Parameters?
But that's for the automation.
We're gonna find this, by golly.
And the settings.
Where do you think I should click? Oh, this one?
Yeah, app settings. No, but it's page.
Unlock personalized app experience with role-based. James has a point. Maybe we're struggling because we're developers and it's meant for non-developers.
That's what happened. You remember the early days of using OutSystems, like, oh, look what I did, and I created this JavaScript chunk of code, and I would talk to our sales reps from OutSystems. They were like,
yeah,
why don't you just use the action, the pre-built action that does just that, and you just drag and drop it? It's like, because I'm a developer.
Yeah.
So click.
I don't know where to
on the screen. Click on the full. There, hover over. I'm pointing in the middle. The outside portion of it. The outside portion of it. There's an outer.
Hey, you're so smart.
Sometimes.
Okay.
So now
Now
you
I
have
swear
that.
it said to set the data type to date, and I do not have a data type field here. Nope, don't do that. Okay, and then we can. What am I even on? Okay. There has to be a way for us to like hook into lifecycle events from
So
here.
did you click the ellipses on the
On
create
what?
session? On the left panel.
Page properties. So at least we're in context of the page. Maybe automations is different. No. Actions? No. Automations? Let's try. Okay, that's fine.
It doesn't say when.
I at least understand this part. I really, before we move on, I really just want to figure out how to set that property. That's like all I want to do.
Yeah. So go back. What did Mr. AI say? Just want to go back, and I think you got to go back to the context of the page. I don't know if you get a new.
Where were we? It's gone.
Well, that ain't no good.
No. Well said.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got the page parameter. How do you tie into the life cycle?
I would have thought it was this. Like, this is an automation. I'm surprised it doesn't have. Okay. I do remember at one point in time seeing something that said triggers. So I think we just have to find how to get back to that, and then we can.
But it was in the
hook
button.
up.
Go to the button. There. Right, so maybe in the page,
Yeah.
click the whole page again.
Okay.
Does that have triggers?
No.
Huh.
The button did. Does the form? No. What were the triggers? On click. Okay. What else do we have?
Invoke JavaScript.
I don't even know how to set. I'm surprised that advanced is different than JavaScript. I don't know. I'm getting a little frustrated.
Yeah.
Because all I wanted to do was set that, and I would hope that all I have to do is click it, and then I can add an automation that would just default that.
On in it, yeah.
Yeah. If I right click, no. Right click does not have. They haven't overridden the right click context menu in this app.
Visible if true.
Fair enough. Value. So this is where we would set the value to, I assume, a variable if we had one.
Yeah, but you can't call.
Let's see what it does. I want to set the value to creation timestamp, so let's at least do that.
Let's see if I can open on my end and see if I can click around too. So do you feed your animals with this music, Alan?
Do I feed? I don't have ducks anymore.
Yeah, that's why I said animals.
No.
You should.
I feed them to heavy metal.
All right. Just don't believe you on that one.
So mad. I'm so mad. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what.
Well, one's heavily swollen.
Yes.
I can't access your app.
Really? What do you share your screen? Let's take a look. Because that's another one of the things that we would need to do in order to like validate this enterprise-ness of this app is, can this be worked on by a team of people? How easy is it to maintain?
I'm assuming it's because you haven't published it.
Okay, done. I can do that.
Oh no, that's to
Version-
another environment.
Version 1. Beware the impact of incompatible updates. Please note that in the testing environment, your app will be paused after 3 hours of inactivity. Paused versions
Nice.
of your app will be securely stored in the version history tab and can be republished at any time. This is designed to optimize resource usage within our preview service offering. So that does, I mean, to me, that reads that this is an instance of something. This is probably some EC2 instance stood up. Maybe it's EC2. I don't know.
How much is this gonna?
for me.
How much is this gonna run me today, Alan?
I don't know. And so in order to get something into production, looks like we have to request access.
To whom?
After exhaustive testing in the previous environment, you can promote a version
I
of
don't
your
do
app
that.
to the production
we tested
environment for live
production.
operational use. Of course. So I hit publish. Okay, there's an ongoing publish to push it over to testing. Okay, here, let me switch back to your screen real quick.
It says my, okay, here it is, right? So in the Builder hub, you have my
Zoom in.
application. Doesn't
Zoom in.
Good call. Good call.
Okay.
My applications, I have nothing, right? So Builder
Okay.
hub, I can the same thing you saw, right? So nothing. All applications, I see yours, but this is disabled. It says it's in draft. Production status, so that makes sense. It's in draft. It hasn't made it to production. Owner is this.
That's me, apparently.
Yeah, you're a number, Alan.
I am 84782488.
Maybe, do you see?
You can delete my app. You can't view it, but you can delete it.
I'm an admin, Alan. I can do whatever I want.
No, you can't. You can't edit, share, duplicate, or rename.
That's true.
Well, like this. Of all things, you think that would be. I would hope that at a minimum it would be the exact opposite of what it is right now.
Yeah. Can you share?
I don't know. Let's find out.
So it's your first tab. Your first tab. On top. On top. Oh. Go to apps. Yeah.
I think it's here.
Instance 0.
Okay.
So your my application should show this one. Yeah. Oh, there I am.
There you go, buddy.
So
now we can, let me switch back to you.
I'm refreshing. No WebSockets there. And now I can edit, not just delete it.
Good. I guess that's okay for like building things in your development environment. I don't know.
Remember, that's the admin. Yeah, but still, being able to edit, to non-edit, but delete.
You know, it does bring up something that I didn't think about. It has all these different stages, testing or dev, testing, and production, all on the same AWS account. I wonder if they're planning on having a setting where you can publish across accounts to like a production isolated account.
So it's still publishing?
Okay, so yeah, it said it was gonna take a few minutes. Okay. This, you know, this probably would be a lot less of an entertaining live stream if we had just watched the video.
Yeah, it might have told us how to jump into the lifecycle events.
Let's talk about other enterprise things.
Oh. You see, it has inline Let's see. Does it have it
Oh.
for? Let's see if it has it here. No. Just for the visibility. Okay.
I
What
didn't
were you
see
gonna say?
anything in here. I didn't see anything in here for testing. Like in the publishing screen, it said after exhaustive testing is done, do this. Do you think that means manual testing?
I think so. I think so.
What do you think will happen if I am also editing this at the same time?
I don't know. I changed the name of that. I think it's gonna freak out.
It says you are currently editing this app. Only one user can edit an app at a time.
It's probably what I would do in the first phase of something. It's like, hey, probably gonna get better.
I don't know. Like that right there to me is a red flag for enterprise. From an enterprise perspective.
Yeah, because you should be able to get your
yeah.
own version of this to then push it back up, right? Just like your normal life cycle.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Because how often did we have the engineering team work on multiple things at the same time in the same app? I mean, it was literally constantly. We were all building against the same application. And this looks like it's made one.
James is telling us to just read the damn docs.
All right, let's look at the docs then.
Just prompt the AI.
If you're a first-time user of App Studio, we recommend that you begin by reading the following sections. For users with the administrator role who will be setting up App Studio, managing users, and configuring connectors, do this. For builders who will be creating and developing applications, do this. Okay. And then it has the concepts, which is nice. Triggers. Here we go. Trigger. Oh gosh, is this generated? This feels like it's generated. Because like literally the first word should be triggers. Such a spelling snob. Triggers determine when and on what conditions an automation will run. Some examples of triggers are on-click for buttons and on-select for text inputs. The type of component determines the list of available triggers for that component. Triggers are added to components and configured in the Application Studio. Are you still in the app?
Yes.
What should we do? Can you add a trigger when somebody? No, I want that date. I want that date in the field. I want a default value. I'm gonna switch back to you.
I'll ask my own AI. I want to default a date in the creation timestamp field when the page loads. Tell me how to do that with a step-by-step explanation.
See, you're a lot nicer than I am.
Screen. Please and thank you. When they rise up, I want them to forgive me.
When they rise up, okay.
I'm gonna copy this out so we don't lose it.
Yeah, I wonder what happened that first time when we lost the scope of that conversation.
I'll keep it open here. But to set a default date, open your App Studio and navigate to the page where you want to set. Click on the data section. Okay, I'm gonna read it on a separate screen and follow. So I copied it out.
Okay, you keep going. Here. Keep going without me for like 1 minute. I have a visitor in my office.
Sounds good. Say hi. So, App Studio, navigate to the page. So we're in the page. How do I minimize this guy? So I'm on the page. Now, on the left-hand side menu, click on the data section, then select the entity that can contain here. Okay. In the entity configuration, locate the creation field and click on it. Doesn't feel like it's helping me. In the field properties panel, scroll to default. Oh, okay. Creation, click edit on the button. In the default value editor. So,
Did it hallucinate about the default value? Yep.
could it be this?
The tooltip?
No.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Okay, mine didn't go away. So here, in the properties panel, scroll down to the default values section. I thought we saw something that said default value. No?
No,
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. Okay.
I'm gonna assume it's.
You know what? I think in a more realistic scenario, Andres, what we're gonna end up doing in a page like this is we're gonna be creating and setting these values behind the scenes, like on submit. So what we should probably do, instead of default these values, now it's still a valuable concept that that we need. Look, it changed. You can tell us it's generative AI because it changed from data type of just date to date time. It's hallucination both ways.
Yeah.
That it seems like that dynamic value is just not going to work.
How did I test this? Go to preview?
I don't know if it's saved. Maybe it auto saves.
Yes, it's saved.
It's still publishing, by the way, and it makes me wonder if it's waiting for something. Like, is it?
Let's. I don't know. I mean, is it using CloudFormation? No. Look, CDK.
That's using this. It's using the CDK. That's interesting.
What did it deploy with this? DynamoDB
Global table.
2 global tables. So it does have 2 tables for us around sessions and data points.
I'm going to point out, just because I would like to instigate, that it is not using single table design.
I don't know. Let's see. Did it? Well, the preview's not using like real data or anything, and then I don't know what this previewing. You saw this.
I assume that's a role, and we just don't have any roles created. So it probably has role-based access control baked in that we're just not using.
Does this control Z? Okay, so let's do what you were saying again, but we can't tie into the. I guess you said on the save.
We can. Yeah. So in there, there's
not on the load.
Yep.
So there's run component validation. So it's validating each input.
It seems out of order. What is the automation doing at the top? Because that's the first thing that it's doing. I guess
New session form.
It's setting variables.
Okay. Use parameters to send values to automation. This is how you access. I mean, you have to be slightly technical to understand what JSON path at this point.
I'm gathering at this point as well that if you're an enterprise architect and you don't have any technical skill, that you should probably be doing the admin side of the house. If you remember those docs, let me bring the docs back real quick.
Ooh, the app is ready.
There. Is that all it takes?
It was a button. I'm gonna check the EC2.
Here we go. Okay, yeah, you go do that, and I will look at this. So there's 2 main roles that they're assuming for App Studio, and that's basically the admins, and then there's the builders who are going to be creating and developing apps. So if I was to guess, I would say that the claim of you not needing any technical know-how is coming from the first one. Yes. And then the bottom one, you do need some.
But it's saying building enterprise-grade applications, which means the application itself.
Yep. I don't know. I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt. I'm genuinely trying. I don't know. Okay. How do we set...
How do we set what? How do you
I don't
default
know. Like
value?
I'm like trying. I almost just want to like ditch everything that we've done and try one of those prompts that they provide from the beginning and see if it's any better than this. Because what we're trying to do is some basic thing.
I want to try the Open API one. Oh, you're on my screen.
Yep.
I was going to pull an Open API that I have here. Do you want to test that one out?
Sure.
Okay. So back. How do I go back? Admin Hub. Create app. Open API. It was from scratch, right?
No.
Next. Oh. You go away. Oh. Just took everything. It was the connector, right? At data source? No. How did you get to that Open API portion?
I don't know. Is this where Cloud9 went? They deprecated all the new customers and put it behind App Studio? Or is that too soon?
It did say the description said something about Code Catalyst, right?
Yes, it did.
Let's open Code Catalyst. App Studio space. I've never used Code Catalyst, but whew, okay. I am App Studio access role. Wasn't I already in Code Catalyst? Whoa.
I don't know, man.
You need a builder ID.
Okay, go through that. I'm gonna change back to me. Okay. Okay, let's go back to my apps. Let's go into here, edit. Nothing about this feels enterprise grade to me.
Yeah.
I really like this visual builder.
You can add columns and stuff, right? There was like navigation or just layout stuff. And
yep.
So go to the automations. Let's do this. Let's just do what you were saying at some point. So automations. Didn't we have like a... Yeah, so there. Let's do default. So add a step there. And so back and there's an actions. It's weird that the two tabs, one is for like the toolbar action and the other one is for the properties of what you have selected. Usually you have those two separately. So scroll a little bit to the top on the right panel.
Okay.
You have your tools and then you have properties, which is the selected, right? So your two tabs in the same position, same level, in a completely different context is
Yep.
a little bit weird.
So
But
this is
here,
how,
go to the actions. We would.
I guess, use
It's probably
JavaScript.
JavaScript. I would hope there's like the OutSystems assign, where you just drag and drop an assign. It's essentially JavaScript in the background, but you're giving a property name and a value, and it's just a little action that you can drag. So yeah, it should be JavaScript.
I accidentally clicked on invoke model.
Update record.
Invoke any AWS operation and service by selecting an AWS connection.
We don't have connections, Alan.
I know we don't. I just want to see what it does.
Okay, it's sort of like a. And go back to your your regular world.
Yeah. Yes. Back to the developer world.
Execute.
I don't know if it's just me, but I do not like this bigger text, bigger and bold, for what's matching on my search term.
It looks weird. It's there. Start execution. I guess you don't need a connector.
So what we would do here is we would probably add a JavaScript action, and we would, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with what it's returning, because what I want to do is I want to set that creation timestamp value to new date.
Yeah. I don't know if we have access to the value of the component within the JavaScript. Again, you
I don't know.
like to compare so
Dude.
much, but in OutSystems you would have access to the input component, and you can set the value in the JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
We go. We started reading the docs and then we abandoned it again, Alan. Where are they?
I really thought this would. What on earth are these values in here? Object? I wanted the output of this to seed into this. Can I do that? Field mapping.
It had it in
Oh my gosh. And what do you do with this? We should have watched the video. We should have watched the video.
We still have time to play it. We could just.
Let's see how long the video is. Where is it?
I'm trying to find it.
How do I get the value that is returned from a JavaScript block?
Setting getting started. Generate an app.
To return the value returned from a JavaScript block, you can assign the result of the block to a variable. That's definitely not what I meant. I don't think this is even in the context of what we're doing. Oh man. Okay. I don't want to watch the video. We only have like 15 minutes left. And
Yeah. Let's do this. So for the non-developer architects don't have good vision, so it needs to be big and bold. Oh,
yeah, that was Daryl talking about the match on here in this search.
Could
It doesn't
we
do it
try
in this one? Yeah, that's funny. What would you like to try?
Create an app from a template?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know how to get back.
I'm switching to you.
How did you get the list of templates? That's where I'm.
That was right. You were going right. You create a new app, and then we skipped that connector step. And then
the Open API was a connectors thing. Now remembered.
Which kind of makes sense. I mean, and that's it. It seems like creating those connectors is what's going to populate those drop downs that say connector.
Yeah.
And then you can do that. I also am wondering what of this, and it might not matter, but what of these things is happening client side versus server side?
This didn't do. This didn't give me an option.
No, it didn't. So you did create a new app.
Create app.
Okay. Generate from AI.
Skip. Yeah, it just starts it now. Maybe I would like to get back to the noob setting. Maybe if we delete all apps. How do you feel about deleting all your progress? Can you keep a backup?
What progress? We changed literally nothing. We couldn't figure anything out. James asked.
Oh wait.
This is a good example for us to do when you're done here.
Okay, let's do claims management. No, I don't want to customize. Oh.
You have to.
I thought there was like a pre-built app where we could see what it was actually doing. I see. This is just a prompt.
Which is interesting because since this is using generative AI, that means that these things are going to be different every time. Okay, so while this is going, James had a couple questions. He asked, can you create AWS resources from directly inside of App Studio? So once this is generated, let's go inside and take a look. And then he also did us a favor and looked at the pricing for App Studio. And he said you get charged for additional resources. So a non-technical person could create a DynamoDB table and the company pays for that. That's a good question.
Seems like it.
I don't know. I wonder if that means like the normal charges for those resources or if there's an upcharge for being managed through App Studio.
I would think it's just the resources. Let's see. Edit app.
This is nice. So you have a file upload and then a create claim web form. Cool.
Submit.
And so file upload
on
probably
this
supposed
one.
to S3. Yeah.
Pending claims, claim detail. This
and that's going to track state management. Yeah.
Review claim, track claim, and dashboard.
And so what are these things that are listed on the left-hand side under that tree? I guess we'll get back there. And so this actually
just want to see this. So I will. Code Catalyst was asking too many questions.
Okay.
So I didn't continue. But it is using that. So I do think this app created 2 new tables. No, it did not. I guess because it's not published yet. It's not published yet. But this happened when you did it. When you published.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So these it says connected.
Are there tags? Can you go back to the DynamoDB console and look at the tags that are on those resources?
Look, here's the actions that you see on the UI.
Yep.
On the console. What did you say?
What are the tags on the resources that are created? Like, is it linking them to... Okay, this is nice at least.
And it's connected. I don't know what... Yeah, it's a connector.
I assume that just means permissions are set for this app to be able to access that resource. Has a schema. Okay.
Data actions. This is good.
And then, yeah, these are reads. Can you edit one? What is it doing? Are you creating a new one? Or are you adding?
Yeah, but I'd rather. Okay, so data actions. Here's something. You select the fields you want. Transform. Use custom JavaScript to transform, so you can transform the data. Makes sense. What are rules? Add a rule. Okay, it's just a condition.
Okay.
And how do I get rid of this? Add group. Remove group. Add rule. What? You can't delete these.
Try right-clicking.
No, sir. Just regular browser.
I guess maybe that's gonna be a fast follow feature.
No data preview. Okay, how do I get? I don't want it. Okay, so let's look at this one. Where ID equals params ID. So this is, you're providing it as an input. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, I went too far back.
It's probably in configuration.
Oh, here.
There we go. Okay.
And then
yeah, so whenever you use that, you'll be prompted to pass in the identifier.
Which, like, review claim. No, there was a listing one. Like these, right? These have to be loading some data.
Click expand it. Expand track claim on the left. No, just click on it. There's no, okay. I don't know what these are, these things that are underneath those top level items. Like, I thought that was going to be the actions that happen, but maybe not.
Okay, because this is a table and the source is, and you're specifying. Okay, I was wondering how it loaded the data. So it's the table component, you're telling it, specifically binding it to this action.
Yep.
Which will
and
execute.
You can map to the columns. Yep.
I was trying to find if we had like an on-a-net thing we could find on this more complex page. Actions, you can see it bounded to S3. Ooh, look, you can add a mocked output.
That's nice.
So let's look at the preview.
And then we should give our final judgments. We have 6 minutes left. This doesn't take very long, as we saw earlier.
Yeah.
I wonder if it actually like uses data in this preview mode, since there's no resources behind the scenes, at least that we could find in Dynamo.
There was a way to add like mock data. It said files will not be published. Yeah.
Okay.
But let's go to like the dashboard. You see, there's fake data.
Yeah, it's fine.
So if I click this, how do I get into a claim? No.
Okay, so this is the preview mode. So this isn't what the app is probably actually going to look like. I don't know. List S space 3. Still a lot of work to be done on these templates, which is, again, fine.
Well, it's hard. It's 4,000 characters. You can really dig deep into what you want, right? And I want a button that does this, this, and this. I want the page to preload data. Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah, but can you define? Let me hide your screen. Let's talk.
Yeah, because I'm done clicking.
it seems like that initial prompt inside of App Studio, the one that you have 4,000 characters, is basically a one-shot, one-time, one-shot, this is what I want. And it goes and it makes that plan, and then it launches you in and says, here you go. This is what you asked for. If you want to change it, go ahead. It's on you.
Yep.
I didn't see anything in there. Like there's that Ask AI in the corner that was being helpful by answering questions. It was hallucinating, as we saw.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually making changes inside of the application itself, which I would have hoped it would do. If I could go into a form and say, default the value of creation timestamp to right now, and it goes and does that. Yeah. That if we get to a point like that, I see a lot more value in this, or a lot more reasonable claim to building enterprise grade apps with non-technical skills. I can just ask it that way.
Yeah, the single dev at any point is also kind of tough, right? Because enterprise grade, if you're a startup, you're gonna have multiple people touching the same thing, right? And you wouldn't be able to use this, right? You would have one person just do it all, which works for a single person organization. The full software lifecycle, I don't know how that would be. I mean, yeah, tests, cool. But how can you integrate any sort of automation, validations in here, right? Probably.
Even a simple, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and you could definitely publish it and use something like Cypress, right? But you're only doing UI testing at that point. So I don't know if there's room for any more back-end integration.
Yeah, I didn't see things that I would expect in enterprise software, like the ability to create a pull request.
Yeah,
you're not gonna, as much as I trusted our engineers on our team when we worked together, I also didn't. I was the manager of our team, and so if we messed up something, the heat came down on my head, and as it should, as the manager, but I didn't want heat on my head if we broke something.
Yeah.
I had to, in the case of us breaking something in production, it was a fire drill because it was a multi-tenant app. And if something breaks because we didn't have a pull request and multiple people are in there making changes, it's like, what was the change that broke things? How do I get that audit history and figure out to back it out? We didn't explore everything in this service, so it's possible that we overlooked the version history and whatnot. So maybe those are in there, then we just didn't see them.
Yeah, but they're not easily visible, right? And then it's definitely going to read more on the documentation to verify what we're saying as far as our assessment. Watch the hopefully 5-minute video max time as the starting, and see where it gets us, right? What we try to do here is how easy is it to use without looking at docs, right? That's kind of, we like to do that. We don't like to read docs. So now we will jump into the docs and see what's up. But I think it has the potential, but there's a lot to be desired still. Again, it's in preview, so maybe we'll send this video to them and they can see how we reacted and maybe cater it just specifically to you and I and my way of developing, Alan.
I love
this. We're architect. It's meant for us. It's meant for us. We're non-technical.
Okay, so we're about at the end of time. So what I would really like for us to do to wrap this up is let's go and talk about the things that we liked and that we didn't like about it, and then we'll do a final after you and I both go. Let's make put our flag in the sand for, is this building enterprise grade applications?
Okay,
you go first. What did you like? Let's start with what did you like. Let's do a compliment sandwich. So we'll start with what we like, then we'll say what we didn't like, and then maybe we'll come back with something nice.
Cool. Okay, so again, it has promise. Obviously, I'm a big fan of low code, so drag and drop, editable things still needs a little bit more in that sense, but that's nice. And the connector, I mean, we didn't fully explore it. I'm definitely going to play around with that, but having a connector with open API integration, that's magical because it knows the security scheme you're using and all that, and might just ask you the access key or the bearer token that you need. So that's got me excited. See how that connector works.
Is that it? Is that all you liked?
Yeah. As far as the generated, and I'll go to what I did not.
Yeah, let's hear what you didn't like.
So the output wasn't. I didn't like it. Again, I would love it if it was smarter, right? A created timestamp usually is automatically set on save, right? That's most. I hope most applications do it that way, and it's not an input field. So doing a little bit more for you based on standards and industry stuff that you see on every application, like audit is always set on the background. The dashboard was nice, but the form, I mean, labels, right? So adding better labels into things, create a timestamp, like change it from snake case to a regular worded word. The non-iterative or losing the context on the AI, the Ask AI thing, that sucked, right?
I think that was a bug. I'm pretty sure that one was a bug.
Okay. And the fact, I mean, we got lost pretty quick. It's like and I know now I see you got the prompt where you can preview or edit. You hit preview. We didn't know there was an edit on the other another tab, right? So a little bit more navigational niceness for us would get us pretty far.
Okay.
You go.
You done? Go. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I like, I do like that it is a low code / no code builder. Like I say / because you don't have to use code, but you could if you wanted to. Honestly, if you remember 5 years ago, whenever we started getting into AWS in the first place, this is what we were looking for. This is literally what we were looking for.
Yeah, we asked a lot for this. We only got honeycomb, which is deprecated now. But
yes. Yes. So I like it. I think they're on the right track for enablement, for allowing small business owners to build a website that actually does something for them, something meaningful, that they don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to hire a contract developer to build them a site that they're not able to maintain or make changes to. So I like that from a small business owner perspective. It is simple enough to do things like that, and you can do easy CRUD applications like this. I also do like that it does have the ability to hook into your AWS resources to satisfy these advanced use cases. Like when we were looking at that automation, I was able to say, go ahead and invoke this step function. And once you can do that, then the sky's the limit on the things that you can do. So you have to make sure that you understand the concepts of what a connector is, how to connect those permissions over there. Now, as for what I did not like, I don't like that it's single threaded. So I don't like that you and I both can't poke around at the same time. Now, I understand as an app builder why that's the case, because you're going to get optimistic lock exceptions everywhere, unless you really rely on those real-time updates to update the canvases, which you shouldn't. So I don't like that. I don't like the lack of, I guess, oversight for building. Like, it didn't look like you can make pull requests. It didn't look like you could see the version history. It's all just go in there. It's basically a WYSIWYG, like a really good WYSIWYG that doesn't have an audit history. So I mean, those are the big things that I did not like about it. I should have watched the video. I said it this week on the Believe in Serverless podcast with you. Don't confuse complexity with unfamiliarity. I don't think this is complex service to use. obviously we're unfamiliar with it. We also have a little bit of a history using low-code designers in general as well. So we were able to move, I think, a little bit quicker than an actual non-technical person using it. But the concepts are there. You can build multi-step workflows. You can trigger AWS resources. You can build UI without actually knowing React or HTML or anything, really. It just works. You can drag and drop and it works. So I like it from that standpoint. But, is it enterprise? Is it building enterprise grade software? No. I wish we could say yes. I wish I could do this. I wish I could say maybe. But right now, to me, that answer is a hard no. There's no testing. There's no there's no integrated almost anything. It's just change and fly. It does say, it does give you that you should be testing things exhaustively before you push to production. But I mean, that's just a wagging of a finger.
Hopefully it's common sense to everyone.
Yeah. And, again, this is a low code, no code service. If you do choose low code, you have to use JavaScript. So those shops that are in Python or .NET or Rust, I hope you like JavaScript. Because yep. that's what you're using if you need to do something. Now, is there going to be other languages in the future? I don't know. This is clearly building a user interface. So if it's building things that are running in the browser, browsers don't really run Python, really. They run JavaScript. So TBD on that piece of it. I don't see the resources that it generated. Do I need to? I don't know. We're kind of in this early phase again of things like, am I okay with having the control taken away from me? Control meaning I want to know what resources there are. Does it matter? It doesn't to a small business owner. It does to me as an enterprise architect.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of pricing and cost.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance, right? Because you want this tooling to succeed, and you want these sort of abstractions, but losing that control, a lot of people can't deal with that, right? If OutSystem, you usually don't get access to the database. You could, you don't truly see the code that's generated, right? This is the same concept here. Are you willing to lose that control? And it might be fine, right? And when I was talking to Jeremy when we did the amped stuff, it's like 96% of applications are simple CRUD applications, right? You might be fine, right? You need a table, put item, update item, and delete item, right? You're good to go. So sometimes we just overthink things, and it's hopefully if you're a CRUD app builder, these tools get you what you need very easily. Again, this is not there yet. It's in preview. Is it alpha, beta? Do you know which letter it is yet?
I don't know. Preview usually means beta.
Beta. So we'll see. I'm going to keep track of how it progresses, and hopefully they see this feedback, and I want to keep playing. I did find a version history tab. So yeah,
Good.
So there's that.
Can you roll back to different versions?
I have one. I opened one where I don't have any versions, but okay. I will look. So it has promise. It has potential. So we'll see how it evolves.
As with everything, it's going to continue to get better. Yeah. And it's going to continue to get better as we actively use it. So providing feedback, using it, all these things, because I'm sure they're pulling usage metrics behind the scenes. It's probably an opt-in thing that you can do. Just shows, how are people experiencing the application? How can they optimize the workflows?
And so it's honest feedback, even if it's bad. Any feedback is good feedback. So if we don't give the bad things will never get improved.
Yes, true. So I'm pretty sure I know the answer. We'll do a simple yes no, and then we'll sign off. Do you like it?
Not yet.
Okay. Thumbs up for me.
Yeah.
I will not build a production app on it right now, but I wouldn't anyway, even if I loved it, because it's in preview and you shouldn't do that anyway.
True.
I like the promise. I like the potential, and I like that, like, it clearly is an enabler for people who don't know how to code. You do need some technical know-how, but you can use it to build something for your small business or to build a tracking app, so something. So yes, for me, I do like it.
It's kind of the same answer. I said not yet. So it's kind of that.
Okay. All right. Well, Andres, thank you for poking around. I got a little frustrated in there, but I think you and I went in with a lot of assumptions, and it did not help that we did not practice this at all as far as the frustrations go.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, so do we have anything else the rest of the week? No, we don't have anything else on the Believe in Serverless the rest of the week. We had a talk this morning already, depending on where in the world, earlier today about Neon serverless Postgres service that I heard was a fantastic session. It was going on at 5 a.m. for me, so I did not watch it yet, but I will definitely watch it later. And then next week, we're back with several sessions.
Yes.
I don't remember what they are offhand, but good stuff coming. So thank you all for watching. I hope you found a lot of usage out of it. Try it. I would be interested to see what you guys think. It's a low code builder, so it's a little bit different. Don't go into it with a developer mindset. Go into it with an objective of, I want to solve this business problem. And
definitely let us know what you think in the Believe in Serverless Discord, and we can keep the conversation going over there.
That's right. If you're not a member of their believeinserverless.com/community, takes you straight to the Discord. All right. So until then, we'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your week.